How are we doing today? How are we doing tonight? Wherever you are in this great big world, hope you're doing alright. Happy Easter, happy Ostara, whatever it is that you celebrate, I hope you're having a good day. I decided to bring you a very special video for Easter. A demonstration of how me, Mad Magician Karos, performs the 50 Names of Marduk ritual calling out of the Necronomicon Spell Book. Me, myself, and I. If you want a proper way to perform the ritual, check out my brother's video, Magickology's Spell Book ritual walkthrough, right here, right there. Be sure to check that out if you want a proper way to do it. Now, I say proper as in he's basically going by the book. Whereas I'm going by the book, but at the same time, this ritual is also a bit of an evolution from the last 3 years from Magickology and my other brother from the Black Tower. So, this is an amalgamation of everything that I've learned from both of them. But it still has the base, okay? The base, the core of the ritual in itself. Now, when you do a 50 Names ritual, you decide what goal you want to happen for this particular demonstration. I have Zagarim. Now, Zagarim is the 4th Slayer. He's the madman of the group. And I have my goal for justice. This has already come to pass. So, I have my goal. And now I drew my sigil. I hide this somewhere. And I, wait till the appropriate time. Full moon. It's full moon out. Super moon, blood moon, doesn't matter. Energy in the air from the full moon. Now, you can, and I've done it many times, and I've got my results, but you can perform these rituals outside of a full moon if it's an emergency. So you can perform them. But ideally, you want the full moon. So, that being said, it obviously has to be nighttime. And as you can see, it's broad fucking daylight outside. And I'm wearing my day Elder Sign Sigil of the Gateway. I have a black one that I use for these rituals, but I didn't want to mess with the chain, so I have a black one that I wear for protection. Okay? This is to protect me. Since I don't have my guardian watcher, since I don't have him yet, I basically have this to protect me from any outside forces. Next thing, your wardrobe. It has to be special. It has to be all black. You can wear a robe. But me, I wear my fucking house clothes, okay? I wear my fucking house clothes. Like right now, I got on a black t-shirt that I wear, my good shirts. I'm wearing my black jeans, my black boots. Normally wouldn't be wearing my watch. I wouldn't wear my watch at home anyway. So, it can just be, black. Has to be black. But it has to be special to the rituals of the Necronomicon. And it only has to be for that. You can't wear it any other time. So, basic ritual attire. Cleansing. You want to purify your ritual space. Now, on page 99 of the main Necronomicon, there is an incantation to cleanse your area that you will be working in. Then you want to energetically clean yourself by reciting the purification invocation of Ishtar. You want to cleanse yourself. And then you want to properly, physically clean yourself. Take a shower. It doesn't have to be a long, drawn-out shower. Just make sure you're nice and clean. And then get into your ritual attire. Now that the area is cleansed, you're cleansed both physically and energetically. It's time to sit down, facing north, okay? I'm facing south here at the old house because it's just easier to film right now. I'm facing south, but you technically need to be facing north. The main Necronomicon book says your rituals must be facing north, and it must have a window in the northern direction. If you have a room with other windows, you need to block them off. Like, I got a window over there, the shade's drawn. I have the front door open at the time of this video for obvious reasons, because the power doesn't work here. But I have a curtain over the window of the door. And then you can see right there, So, now, if you are able to do this outside, hey, that is awesome. That is perfect. But you want to do this. You want to do this where you're not going to draw attention, where you're not going to get interrupted. I've done it in the living room. I've done it in my room. I've done it in the garage. I've done it in the shed. All over this property. But I've never done it outside because I have nosy neighbors. And if they see somebody outside chanting, a ritual going on at 3 a.m. in the fucking morning, Mr. Policeman's going to be knocking on the door. So, if you are able to do this outside, you want to do it in a location that's on private property, where you know you're not going to get interrupted or encounter interference of any kind. Let's see what else. Now, technically you're supposed to have done your conjuration of the Watcher, because he's the one to stand guard. Well, like I said, I don't have my Watcher yet, so I rely on this for protection. Because when you're doing this ritual, outside interference is going to come towards you from the spiritual realm. Okay? Spirits, renegade entities. They're going to see you like a moth is attracted to a flame in the dark, and it's going to come right towards you, and it's going to try to get in. And when that happens, do not falter. Stay focused on the task at hand. Now, I've done rituals to the east. I started out doing the east, and then I did the north, which is technically what you're supposed to be doing. And then I, in the last year or so, been doing it to the west. I've been getting results, but technically you want to be facing north. So, I think that's about it for this portion of the video. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. So, let's jump into my work altar. Okay, this is my work altar. Right here we have the second mantle of calling. And then on the back we have type 1. The Necronomicon likes to play opposites. And this was confirmed by my brother from the Black Tower, because when I decided to do the Mantle of Calling, I just had this urge to do type 2. Now, type 2 is the representation, from what I understand to be, of the Azoni, the ones of the underworld. And then this is of the representation of the Zonai, but when you work with the Zonai, the ones from heaven, you you use the underworld. It's backwards. They like to play opposites, and it's totally cool, considering you do these rituals at night, whereas you would do the underworld during the day. But this is my Mantle of Calling that I use. And then I have the sigil that I will be calling upon. And don't worry, my brothers, what I asked for came to fruition in July. So this sigil is already happened. What I requested is happening. But this is Zagarim, one of the Slayers. He's the madman of the Slayers, you know. He's the wilding, crazy, untamed one. And then, since I've mentioned this in my videos numerous times, and I even made a video series that you can find in Magick, Spell Book, and more, that I have trouble visualizing. And apparently, speaking. I have trouble visualizing. So, what I do, doesn't matter if it's a Ziku for money and prosperity, or a Saruludu, and a picture of a barrier around my house, it doesn't matter. I try to find a picture of what I'm wanting, and I put it right here. These two assholes have caused me a lot of grief and a lot of pain. And for those who've been following my channel, you know who this person is. But now, this is from something else, but I can't really show you the other one. But this is where I would write down exactly what I'm wanting. And it's happening. And then to the right, I have my personal athame. I know you're supposed to use the Copper Dagger of Inanna, but this is my personal athame, and ever since I started using it in 2016, when I was reunited with it, my magic has gained a considerable boost. And then we got the 2 white candles that are only to be used for these rituals and nothing more. And then we got my 2 lapis lazuli, my 2 labradorites, my merlinite, my amethyst, and my mystic merlinite. I personally use stones that help increase your psychic awareness, your energy, your connection, your magic ability. And then we got the dark sandalwood. Now, you're supposed to use pine, cedar, or sandalwood. Now, I use dark sandalwood because it's a heavier and sweeter scent than regular sandalwood. And they love sweet scents. Now, the only thing that is not pictured is my offering. For example, since this is Zagarim, had my loose tooth had come out before July 2018, I would have offered it to him, and I would have put it right here. And, you know, I'll tell you when I get to the other part, but I would put it right there and say, please, Zagarim, please accept this offering. Now, I've offered medals, money, rings, you name it. So, but this is what my work altar looks like. Okay, I forgot to mention, what do you do with the sigil after you've called the name in question? Well, once you're done with the ritual, turn it over. If you are one to believe that blowing out your candles ruins the energy, then feel free to snuff them. That's what I've been doing. But it depends on your school of thought on that. I'm kind of back and forth, honestly. But I snuff my candles out. Well, once you are done with the ritual, you turn over the sigil, and then you pack up everything if it's not a work altar that stays out. You take that sigil, and you hide it somewhere where no one's going to find it, and only you know where it's at. But you want to hide it in a dark place, somewhere that's not going to get noticed. And then when your ritual happens, then you get rid of it. So, I just wanted to add that in. Now let's join the rest of that video. So now that you know what my work altar looks like, it's time to get to the... So I grab my grimoire, my personal grimoire, and I go to the name, which is Zagarim, right here. Basically, what I did was I copied the spell book. I took all 50 names, drew the sigils in blue ink, and then I on the next page, I basically wrote down the incantation with the name and his keyword. So I'd hold my grimoire in my left hand, got my candles lit, and my incense lit. I take my athame. Z, Kia Kampa, Z, Anakampa, Z, Dingir, Kia Kampa, Z, Dingir, Anakampa. Hear me, O thou Zagarim, come to me by the powers of the Lord Mashti Shadu, and answer my urgent prayer. Z, Kia Kampa, Z, Anakampa. And then I would close my grimoire, place my athame down, and I would get into this position where I could, focus both my eyes on my goal and the sigil. And at first, I would chant something similar to, please destroy my enemy, please destroy my enemy, saying this, building up the energy, directly, and I would be rocking back and forth to a trance-like state, almost. Then as it progressed, I went with the rhythm of the clock that I had in here. And I would, set my mantra of my goal, of what I'm wanting, my chant, to the rhythm of the ticking and the talking. And then when I took the advice of my brother from the Black Tower in one of his videos, where he talked about, just talk to them. Just talk to them like a friend. Like I'm talking to you right now. Just talk to them. Tell them you're, Zagarim. These people have been attacking me with magic from the very beginning, since I started talking to them. They've killed all 3 of my cats with magic. They made my life a living hell. They're making my life a living hell. Can you please do me justice? Can you please do me justice and avenge me? Can you avenge my cats? Something to that effect. Now, what I'm doing is I'm combining talking. I would say something on the lines of, thank you for coming. Please hear my urgent prayer. These people have been hurting me. They've taken away my cats. And I demand justice. And then I would go into a trance, chanting, like, once I have made my case. And then I go into the chanting of, please avenge my cats, strike them down. Please avenge my cats, strike them down. And I would keep focus on them. Okay? So, and then I get to that point where I just can't do it anymore. My mind is starting to lose concentration. So, this would be the point where I would cool down, where it says in the spell book, to where when you're losing concentration, stop, come back to your body by touching objects that are around you, In this case, I would take this opportunity to pick up my offering and hand it, saying, please accept this offering for my request. This is payment. And then I would pick up my grimoire, pick up my dagger in my hand, or my athame, and I would close the ritual with Z Dingir Kia Kampa, Z Dingir Anakampa, Spirit of the Earth, remember. Spirit of the Sky, remember. And then I would violently cut down the air to sever whatever. However you want to look at it. Sever the ties, releasing him so he can go do his thing. But that's how I do it. Like I said, this is an amalgamation of 3 years of change. Because believe me, back when I first did this, in 2011, it was literally by the book. I had my sigil, my 2 candles, my incense. That's it. But thanks to Magickology and the Black Tower, my brothers, my ritual calling, my personal calling, has evolved very greatly. And with that being said, this demonstration is how I do it. You want to keep with what the book says, but you also want to make this ritual your own. Make it your own, as I have done. Now, a few loose things before I wrap it up. I have an electric lighter. Yeah, sure, you can do that. Especially when it comes to candles like these. Yeah, especially if you got hands like mine. So, matches are better because it's that element of wood and fire. When you blow out the match, that energy, that fire energy just got released. And you can use the long matches, which I need to pick me up some because I'm getting kind of to that point where I like these better than tea lights and any other open candle. Just in case, if I drop this and it doesn't shatter, And you can get the long matchsticks, or you can do what I do, is take your incense. Doesn't matter if you have a match or a lighter. Light it, and then while the flame's still there, light your candles. When it comes to the stones and crystals, you don't want to use them all the time. Using them all the time is like using basically like a steroid. You use it once or twice, good to go, right? But then you're going to keep wanting to put more and more into you because you can't really do it on your own anymore, So I've kind of, depending on what I'm asking for. In this case, I'm wanting justice. So I'm going to go with, going maximum force here. I want maximum force. I want maximum energy. But I don't do it all the time. So if I do another ritual with Ziku here, another sigil that's out of rotation, you know, I'll not have the stones. But like I said, depending on the situation, if it's something that I desperately need to happen, I will. But if it's like, hey, Ziku, I need $100, you know. So, with that being said, I would like to thank you all for watching. I would like to thank you all for listening. Thank you for joining me here today. I truly appreciate it. I would like to thank my brothers Magickology and Black Tower. Again, the Black Magickology's video of how he does it, the proper way, will be right here. The only thing he didn't put was the incense in his video, but other than that, it's pretty much proper. And what I went over here. So, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. If you want to come kicks it with me on other social media, the links are in the description. And be sure to click that little bell icon to stay informed. Subscribe if you haven't. And again, thank you all for watching. Love you all. And like the diamonds in my watch, I'm shining, baby.